we did a big auction of me selling off a whole pile of stuff of my own personal stuff, and that auction went well, and it's all good and gone now. I thought I'd do a live stream today because, well, we're nearing midsummer, and some of you have kind of been asking, where's Alex been? What have you been up to? I haven't had as many videos out in July as I normally would, but there's good reason for that. It's because I've been so incredibly busy filming videos and doing things that I had a few to schedule in advance, and we have a lot of stuff, a lot of adventures ahead to show you, some really exciting finds and some fun things that we've been up to. That said, regular videos of every Wednesday and Saturday should start again before too long. I think from August onwards, we're back to kind of like our regular kind of programming. But July, I just needed a kind of a little bit of a break to get a bunch of work done and edit some videos and film stuff. Plus, I've got projects on the go. I guess I should give you an update on the 1929 Cadillac for those of you that have been following that restoration series. The Cadillac is currently over at my friend Matt's shop, and he's just kind of started work on it right now, and so we're waiting until he gets a little further into the project before I go and do an update on that. So that will be coming soon. I'm hoping, I mean, ideally it would be nice to have the car back before the end of the season so we could actually get it out to some events, but you know, even if it's a next season sort of thing, that's okay too. Yeah, it is just been an absolutely busy last couple months for me. Lots of clear outs, lots of estate purchases, storage units and stuff, and a lot of those videos will be coming out before too long. Hi Mindy. Mindy says, hi Alex from Detroit, Michigan. Well, hello back at you, Mindy. I can't remember. Mindy, are you the one that went out to my family, my great-great-great-great-grandpa's grave in Wayne County, Michigan, and shot a picture of it for me? Anyway, if that wasn't you, that's probably a weird thing to say, but there was somebody who lived in Detroit that went out and took a picture of my great-great-grandpa's headstone, and that was pretty cool. And I always thought it was funny because in the whole cemetery of U.S. headstones, his is the one that says proud English citizen on it. I thought, oh, that probably didn't win him many friends. Oh, it wasn't Mindy. Okay. Well, hello, Mindy. I had ancestors from the Detroit area, the Michigan area. That was my first family that came from across the pond from England, came from United Kingdom right to Detroit, Michigan kind of area. And yeah. Wondering how the old house is that you had to refurbish twice. David is asking about the Potter's house. Have not been back out to Provo since we sold it. We sold it a while ago, and yeah, that was disappointing to get renters in somewhere just to have them kind of, you know, destroy it. But, you know, we did sell the house, and it's with the new family now, and I imagine they're just living their life. It was a nice house, actually. You know, you think about how much it costs for people to live somewhere in a bigger city, and then you could move out to a smaller town like that and live quite well in a smaller home. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. It wasn't even a small house. It was like 2.5 stories. What am I thinking? A smaller town at a lesser price. That house was massive. It was, I really loved the attic there. It had this big giant walk-in attic, you know, like you see in movies where you'd go up and there'd be, you know, like a treasure chest or something. I always think about the Goonies, or the map to One-Eyed Willie's treasure up there or something, but it was a cool place. So it is with new owners now, and they're doing their thing and hopefully living their best life with it. Sella13 says, good day to you, Alexander Sabine from South Mississippi. Well, hello back at you. And Anne from Florida. Wish we knew that you, oh, and Melissa were on the island. We would have bought you lunch. Oh, yeah, Melissa and I were out on Vancouver Island for a couple days. We just had kind of a short visit out there. I have family out on the island, and we do more of an island tour of some of the beautiful places. Incidentally, in Canada, Vancouver Island is one of the prettier places to visit. It's just, you know, beautiful forested areas, ocean all the way around. It's just a stunning place to go. So if you like outdoorsy stuff, or if you like really pretty towns, there's just, you know, it's a really cute, really nice place to go. KM says, what's happening with the Netflix project? I have given up hope on that. We had a deal signed, and it wasn't Netflix, it was actually with Amazon Prime, to do kind of like a hoarding house clear out show, and we went through the whole thing. I pitched it with them, we got approval. they ended up putting the series on hold because they wanted to do Mr. Beast's thing, and that ate up a good chunk of their budget for a lot of the smaller projects. And ultimately, what they said was, while I was waiting for them to develop this series, that they didn't want me to do any house clearouts on camera for YouTube. So that really sucked because I wasn't able to do those for quite some time. And when they decided to hold off on doing our show, was that last year? They asked to put us off for another year, and again, no more doing house clearouts on the show. So I just decided I would just want to do my own thing. So still doing YouTube and doing my own thing here. And Mr. Beast in the world of entertainment is certainly more important than I am. Somebody said, they just told you Mr. Beast is more important. Yeah, he's a much bigger deal than little Alex here doing my thing. So it's fine. They did their show, which is available to watch. And I think they ended up doing the Horde Clearout show on another channel, like Lifetime or something like that. I don't know where they put it. Maybe one of those other channels. And I don't even have cable anymore, so to be honest with you, I can't even tell you where they did it. But they did it without me. But that's okay. Honestly, guys, I don't really want to do a whole lot of those hoarded house clearouts. There's just a lot of funky energy involved with that, if that makes sense. It's just always kind of a weird vibe. Like, you're going into a place that there's a lot of sadness and grief, and anytime you do a house clearout, it's like that. But it's yeah, anyway, it's just one of those things. Not really great for your health to go in those places. So I've had a few opportunities to do hoarded house clearouts in the last little while, but we did do a couple really cool house exploration videos, which will be coming out later. And that was a lot of fun. We found a lot of really neat stuff. So I'm excited for you guys to see all the things we've been up to this past little while, because I went nuts filming this past month. Had a few videos come out, but I went crazy. I've been a busy guy. I had a lot of projects on the go. You'll see when the videos start coming out, you'll be like, holy cow, he was definitely busy in the months of June and July when you see all the stuff that came out. I did so much that it's going to take me a couple months just to get caught up on all the activities. Beth says, how is your buddy Hans? Talked to Hans not that long ago. He is okay. And he's got, some personal stuff going on in his own world that I'm sure he'll eventually talk about on his own. It's not for me to talk about. But his health is good, and he's just kind of reestablishing himself right now. So just staying in touch with him and making sure he's okay, but he's all right. Laura says, what's this then? A live stream? Day just got better. Well, hi, Laura. Yeah, I haven't been on in a little while. Haven't been really chatting too much with anybody on the live side of things since we did the storage auction, or not the storage auction, the auction of my own personal stuff. And yeah, it's just been, I don't know, the market's really different. I don't know about you guys. How many people out there watching right now are dealing in antiques and collectibles? Show of hands. I don't know if you are or you aren't, or you deal in this stuff, or you just have an interest in it, but the market seems to really be shifting lately in terms of what people are paying for things and also what's become collectible. When I opened up my antique shop a decade ago, we would say that people who were buying in the 90s, a lot of coal oil lanterns and stuff like that, were finding that the values they paid then had gone way down. And now the same thing is happening to certain things in Petroliana. Like oil and gas collectibles that used to be worth a pile of money come way down. Oil cans that I used to be able to sell readily for $500, $600, $700 are now $50. And I think about all the people who bought that stuff, and they were buying it because they wanted it at the time. Yeah, it's really hard to know what is shifting. It seems like the younger generation, aka my kids' age, are really into Pokemon cards. And there's been a lot more, at least where I'm in my area, there's been a lot more shops popping up selling that kind of stuff. Not necessarily sports cards. There's some interest in that, but things like the Pokemon or video game collectibles, it's a whole sort of dynamic shift. And I don't know if it's because of a space concern that younger people aren't thinking they're going to have, rooms and rooms to fill up with shelves and collectibles and stuff like that. That maybe collecting cards and stuff is something that takes up less space. But there is big demand for certain things like that, and there's less demand for others. So I think for me, I'm just focusing on stuff that I think is personally cool, stuff that I kind of know and understand. But you have to be careful what you spend on things because, as I said, the price has shifted quite a bit. KM says, I've got an antique shop in Austria, and I can tell you that the market is changing very fast. Hard to follow, to be honest. Yeah, it is changing really, really quickly. More like the pop culture stuff is still popular. It's just been really, really busy. Denny says, have you kept in touch with Anatoly in Tulsa? No, I should probably write him and see how he's doing. He's an interesting guy with a lot of stuff. He's the guy that I bought the Lancia Zagato race cars from, and went out there to Tulsa and interviewed him. If you didn't see that, I thought it was an interesting thing. We went out and chatted and hung out with a gentleman that raced cars back in the 50s and 60s. Laura says video games seem to be on the uptick. Yeah, it seems to be that way. I've noticed that I try and pay attention to what stuff my kids think are cool. Spider-Man, Superman, superhero stuff is popular. Pokemon, like I said, video game stuff is popular, but they're not really collecting. Nostalgia for them isn't collecting die-cast cars or vintage guitars and stuff like that. So it's much different. And Casey says, prices tanked for us selling premium items, thus no sales, but the Goodwill, etc. are charging a fortune and getting it. Oh yeah, if you've been to a Goodwill or a Value Village lately, at least in North America, the prices are basically retail or above. And I don't know if it's because people think that they're getting a deal there, but it's nuts. Kathy says, how did your big auction of your own stuff go? Were you happy with the proceeds? Yeah, I mean, money's in the bank for the kids for their school. We've got 2 in university right now, and Abigail's got another 2 years of high school before she goes. So that's all now set aside for them. And now I can start having fun again with some other stuff. But yeah, was happy with the proceeds. Honestly, it's just nice to turn stuff loose. It was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow to get rid of all my Redline Hot Wheels because I did love those things, and there were certain collectibles that I sold that it took me years and years and years to find and collect. But generationally speaking, there are some things that just are a little 5-10 years from now might be more challenging to sell. Stuff that I thought was super cool, in the 90s or 2000s was maybe like 1950s or 60s stuff. So I had all my Corgi and Dinky toys and stuff like that, and there's just not the same interest in that there used to be. What is Jason taking university? He is taking, he's going to the sciences with the focus on chemistry, and Steven's in biological sciences, and Abigail to be determined, but she's an artsy gal, as all my kids are, so she's thinking about that. Claire says, how do you stay motivated when working for yourself? That's a really good question. That was one of the hardest things. At first, when I left my regular 9-to-5 job and opened up the store, it was easy because you have the store to focus on. So you're really considering, like, what's the store going to look like? What products am I going to bring in? What hours do I have to be there? So you're really, really busy doing that. But when I sold off the building that our store was in, now it's a whole different thing that you have to keep motivated. So I schedule myself things throughout the day, pretty much every day. And I like to have a lot of projects on the go, whether it's an old car or other things that I'm fixing up or working on. So I just try and make sure that I have long-term projects that I'm working on. And trust me, there's lots of stuff I still have planned to do around here that I haven't done yet. Carl, the lazy reseller, that's a great name. He says, I sell at a flea market. I notice a lot of dealers get stuck in a certain time period and can't adjust to new prices or demand. That's true. And Ted Croft says, I look at your videos a lot. I guess since I'm not getting noticed, I won't be looking at them anymore. Okay, well, I just noticed you. That's an odd reason to boycott my channel because it took me a while to get to your comment. Anyway, I'm going to go back to the reseller at the flea market. I've noticed that even at the antique malls, there are some people that are asking early 2000s prices on things, such as, like old Western toys and stuff like that, 2000 to 2010, that stuff would have been worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and now you can't even really sell it, and they keep the same price tags on it. It's bad when you go to an antique mall and the price tags have been on so long that they've actually faded out from sun fading and there's like nothing left, and they're never willing to budge on the price either. But I don't know, it felt good to kind of get rid of a bunch of stuff. And somebody said it looks like you still have a bunch of stuff on your shelves. Yes, I do. There are still things back there. There's just less of it. We had another 3 or 4 shelves that I had on the other side of my wall that are gone now. And, you know, I kind of just reorganized some of the stuff that I kept behind, some of the more special items. But yeah, like there's a dive helmet behind me that wasn't there before. There are some times when I go in somebody's house and I'm on a pick and I'm like, oh man, you don't get a 1920s US diving helmet very often out of somebody's basement off a floor. So I guess that's coming home. So you just kind of, I don't know. There's certain things that are just really interesting, and you know, regardless of whether people think they're cool or not at the time, I still like to pick them up and bring them back. And I always wanted one of those dive helmets. Never had a real one before, so to get an opportunity to have a real one is pretty neat. And some items I think that are considered art will always do well if it's interesting. Kevin Smith says, I build and collect plastic model cars. Last one sold was $800 built by me. Well, you must be quite talented at it. And congratulations. Oh, the other thing that's actually done really well lately in terms of collectability is Lego. Now, there are things that just for whatever reason have really started to climb in the last little while. And I always say that, like, Lego is now like the family silverware of yesteryear, that people would always say, well, I couldn't sell that because it's been in the family for generations. And it's kind of like that with Lego and like retro toys and stuff now, where they're like, well, kind of keeping that bucket of Lego in case I have grandkids someday, and their kids like 15, and you're like, well, I guess you're gonna be waiting on that for a while. And Lego is very expensive, so getting it secondhand is a good way to go, but hard to find that stuff at garage sales or even estate sales if people just want to hang on to them. But yeah, minifigures sell really well. You know, $5, $10, $15 and up each per figure, those little figures. So when you get a big bucket of Lego at a garage sale, put all the bits and pieces together, you can do quite well. There are just all sorts of things out there that have kind of shifted a little bit, but we'll see. Oh, Dave Fleming sent $5, says, I love the content. Thank you very much. Bob's your uncle says, hey, Alex, are your online auctions still selling well? Yes and no. Like I said, with this whole thing, that things have really shifted, but you know, I had a fair bit of variety in the things that I was selling. So things that I didn't expect to do well sold better than others. But at the end of the day, yeah, you got to be careful because the market can shift wildly. I did see a comment earlier when somebody said that comics have really taken a nosedive off a cliff in terms of value. That might be, but I still think that there's certain things that will always be good. Amazing Fantasy 15, X-Men 1, Fantastic Four #1. You know, certain comics that, you know, at first appearance or key issues from back in the day that are still relevant today. And the way I look at that kind of stuff is that if my kids have an interest in it now, they don't have the money to buy something like that maybe right this minute, but when they're older, they might want to go back and they might want to find those things that, you know, if they were really into Spider-Man in 2025, that they might go back when they're older and find the original Spider-Man from the 60s and think that's cool. So I think that those sort of collectibles have a longer reach, and I think will hold their value a bit better, assuming that the franchise maintains. And I think the Spider-Man franchise is still relevant today, so those kids, when they get older, will still be into it. But yeah, like Lego and things like that. Vinyl records have been pretty good. Roy Osser says that he sells a lot of records, most for $1 or so each. And Kevin says, sorry to miss you in Victoria. Did you do a tour or camping video of your old Westie? No, I don't have the Westie any longer. And I have honestly been my goal right now for the rest of the rest of this summer is to try and just get rid of as much extra stuff as I can, including extra vehicles and stuff like that. I just am sitting on a few things that I'm not really using or doing much with, so I got to clean house a little bit and thin down before winter, because I know what's going to happen. I get rid of a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to go to somebody's house, and they're going to have a plethora of items all over the place and want me to buy it, and then I'm going to be overstocked again with things. So I got to be careful. Incidentally, I have an auction up right now. I didn't put the link in here or anything, but if you go to Kastner Auctions, there's a curiosity coin and collectibles sale. I have a bunch of antiques, collectibles, coins, and things of that nature, and some old comics. Some of the comics I bought out on Vancouver Island or there. So you can check that out. Anyway, if you go to kauctions.ca, you can look for my auction there. So those of you that are asking. Island Girl says, you look tired, Alex. Alex is tired. The reason why I'm tired right now is that, well, I haven't been sleeping super great. There's that. But yeah, I've been getting these injections in my back, and I had to get up super early this morning and had spinal injections so that I can move around. So I'm mobile, and I can't drive today. So Steven has been driving me around. We went out for lunch together and just got back a little while ago, but my son drove me out. I don't like being a passenger princess. It's not my favorite. I prefer to, I've always been the driver, and so it's really weird for me to sit there and be driven by somebody, but I can't drive until tomorrow. So I'm kind of stuck around the house, but I can drive my lawn tractor and I can mow the lawn and stuff today. Not a spinal tap. And on bass, we have Alex, and on the other bass, no, not spinal tap. It's I had 6 epidural shots. And they're not super fun, I will say. Oh, and Kevin says spinal injections made him worse. For me, it seems to help. I don't know how long I'm gonna, have that problem. I guess I have arthritis in my back and I've got slip disc. This is what happens when I was always the guy who'd be like, I can lift that. And they're like, are you sure? It's like 400 pounds. I'd be like, yeah. And you lift it up. And now my back is suffering for it. All these house clear outs and all this moving stuff around. Yeah, definitely paid the price with my back. So I'm hoping there'll be another solution. But they said that the only thing they can do is, what's it called? Not obliterate. It sounds like it though. Anyway, they burn off your nerve endings in your spinal column at the spots where you have pain. And oh gosh, what is it? Eviscerate? I don't know. Anyway, they burn off the nerve endings, and apparently that helps. But that seems kind of extreme. But that's what's next, I guess, if these injections don't. Ablation, thank you. So I said obliterate. It reminds me, ablation. Yeah, that's what they want to do. And I'm guessing there's some people out there who've had that too. I sound like an old man talking about this. Roy says, I keep 2 late 60s Redline Hot Wheels on my desk, the Shelby Turbine and the Turbo Fire. Which one is cooler? When it comes to Redline Hot Wheels, I always like the ones that looked most like a real car. So I guess I'm, more prone to like the heavy Chevys and the Mustangs or the custom T-Birds and things like that, or the Cord. The cars that look like a real car but in funky colors, those were my favorites when it came to Redlines. It didn't really answer your question, but kind of. Chris says he hasn't been sleeping much for years and has PTSD. Appreciate what you do on here, helping helps to watch your stuff in the middle of the night. Keep being awesome. Oh, thanks for that very much. And Kevin says, don't let them do a myelogram. I don't even know what that is. And Nikki says, how is Patrick doing? So that's nice you'd ask. I haven't seen Patrick in a little while. I guess I saw him last summer. I had to take my truck in. He works at a shop, and my truck had the head gasket go on it. Was that last year? I feel like that was last year. And I took it in and had the head gasket done in his shop, and I haven't seen him a whole lot, maybe sporadically. He's busy doing his thing, and he's seeing somebody, and they've got a nice life that they're building together. So, it's like people just get busy. Yeah, but as far as I know, he's doing fine. He's just working and coming home and working and coming home. And yeah, oh, it's so weird. We're talking about medical stuff too. I went to the dentist yesterday, and I was getting a full cleaning and all that stuff done. And I haven't been in a while, because the last time I had dental coverage was when I was a manager with Apple, and that was 10 years ago. And so it's been 10 years since I went in for a scaling. Still no cavities, knock on wood. But it sounded like when the poor girl was cleaning my teeth, it sounded like she was dragging a garden hoe through a gravel pit. But we got her done. And I found out the dentist, because I went to a new dentist. Actually, I went to a friend of mine who's a dentist. He's been a friend of mine for like 20 years. And when you kind of don't want somebody to, that's your friend to do something. Like, if your friend was a proctologist, you wouldn't be like, well, I guess I'll go see Bill. It's still like one of those things where you're like a little, I don't know, dentist isn't as bad, But still, I thought, what if I have like bad breath or something, and then my friend's gonna think of me as the guy with bad breath. Anyway, everything went well, and my friend Derek is absolutely amazing and a nice person. But he told me, he said, did you ever have trouble speaking when you were a kid? And I went, well, that's a weird thing to ask. And I said, well, I don't know, maybe sometimes I would have problems forming, the letter S or certain sounds. And it turns out I'm tongue-tied. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you have like this extra sort of tendon that attaches the end of your tongue, so you can't, he said, did you have problems like just learning? And I'm like, no. I guess I'd made it work, but I guess if you're tongue-tied, you can have some issues with your speech, and it can give you a speech impediment. But I've worked around mine, I guess. I didn't even know. I was, in my 40s now, before I found out that I was tongue-tied. So I'd heard the expression before, but didn't really ever put two and two together what it was. Pam said, I've had a myelogram, and she says, dang, it hurt more than the pain I was having even with deadening. Oh, well, that's not good. Yeah, if you have a friend who's a proctologist, don't take them up on the free offers. David said, lisp? I don't know if that would give you a lisp. I think maybe it would, because you couldn't maybe get your tongue in the right spot. I don't know what it would do how a person sounds if they're tongue-tied, but somehow I've managed to work my way through it. So there's that. But there are definitely times you have moments where you mean to say one thing or the other. Is it a certain age you get to? This has been happening to me lately, where you just start driving, and then you kind of like end up in the wrong spot, and you're like, where the heck was I headed? I think maybe I've just had a lot on my mind lately. I end up like in the Costco parking lot, and I was meaning to go somewhere completely different. And you're like, well, since I'm here, guess I'm gonna go to Costco now. But yeah. Dawn is asking, and I've had a few people ask how Josh is doing. I haven't seen Josh in a little while, actually. He's been pretty busy. I know that he's been managing his health, and him and his family have a lot of stuff going on right now. I imagine they'll have a lot more to discuss on their channel sooner than later, if they haven't already. But yeah, I think he's doing well, and I haven't seen him in a bit. I know he was doing some art shows at the galleries where he has his art, and he's been very busy doing that. But I will say, YouTube is one of those things where a lot of people start on it, and it's hard to keep going. Even for me, and I've been at this now for 9 years or something like that. And to put a video out every Wednesday or every Wednesday and Saturday even is challenging. And right now I'm trying to do, for November and December, I want to have a video at every 2 days at least. So it's a lot of extra work. So I imagine he's just busy doing his thing. Judy says her son is tongue-tied. Interesting. And Sharon says, oh, back to the not wearing your R, getting off on an elevator and being like, geez, did I mean to get off here? Yeah, those sorts of things happen, I guess. Oh, Collector at Heart said, I had my frenum cut when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. They said it was way too short. It's a normal part of oral anatomy. Sometimes it can be too short or tight, a condition called tongue tie. Yeah, I guess I have that. And Kevin says, has Scott seen your Cadillac Roadster? You mean Scott from Cold War Motors? I don't think so. He is friends with Matt as well. Like, I'm friends with Matt and Jim over at Strong's Garage.
Sorry.
Oh, look who it is.
I needed a chair. Hello, everyone.
This is proof of life. They haven't seen you in a while.
This is nothing. I'm a ghost.
Yeah. It's Melissa.
I just have to find a plug-in for the computer.
Darlene says Josh is doing a lot of work on his house. He does a video at least once a week. Oh, there you go. I know he's been busy renovating for a while, so. Everybody says hi.
Hello. Okay. Can I use that back bar to put the
What do you want?
in?
Oh, you
so
want
I can monitor comments.
Oh, I see.
Can
Melissa put me to work. I'll just plug this into the back of the computer.
Okay. I didn't even know that. Oh, I see. Like actually at the back.
Yeah. We're getting Melissa hooked up and ready to go.
I was hungry. I needed some lunch.
They said it's a pretty summer blouse.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Abigail actually found this for me at a thrift store. This one Abigail found, I think, for me, right? Oh, you did.
I don't remember
Oh,
what
we
this
went
did.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Frederick says, is it time for a big project again anytime soon, aka Hoarder's House?
Well, none have kind of just showed up, though, either.
Well, we had that one. They haven't seen those videos yet. So don't give it away.
Oh, wow. Good thing you said something. Well.
But with the Hoarder House type clear out videos, the first couple videos are usually the best. And then it's a good series usually for about a month or so here. And we did go to a place which I think you'll find very interesting, and we went there twice and went and bought a lot of stuff from them. But by the time they said that they'd consider us going through the place and maybe emptying it out for them, they'd picked everything of value out and we'd picked everything of value out. So then you're basically just, the video series would have been me getting a dumpster, and that's not very exciting. So although we did have a couple opportunities come our way, it didn't seem like the right timing for that.
It's not turning on.
Island Girl says, for the sake of your lungs, no more hoarder houses. Yeah.
It's fun to watch, but it's literally us doing the work. It's a lot of work. Alexander, like when you guys see it, it's like a 1 week to 2 weeks, and some people take years to do that amount of work. He just goes and goes, and it's hard on your body too.
Yeah.
Not just your lungs.
It's funny, I was just telling them how I had to get like cortisone shots in my back this morning, so I couldn't
that's
drive.
What you were doing this
that's
morning.
a result of me doing lots of these hoarder house videos. Well,
This isn't working.
not just that. Okay. We're having technical difficulties. We might just have to. Oh, there's a plug right over there.
Okay.
If you can reach it.
Thanks.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm coming back.
Kevin says, do they use salt on your roads? Your cars don't seem to rust like here in Ohio. No, they don't. They sand, but they don't really salt. So there's always a little bit of salt in with the sand, I think. But no, they don't salt the roads here. They're unsalted.
Hopefully none of that was important. I plugged it all.
She unplugged all the things. What? I don't know what that was plugged in.
Well, the camera didn't go off.
No, I think it was my guitar amp. That's fine.
Oh my goodness.
Car Week at Pebble Beach coming up, says Anne. Oh, I would love to go. And I was chatting with a lady and her son at a car show last night, and she said, oh, you got to go to Monterey. It's beautiful. And then they've got all this stuff. It would just be frustrating for me. I don't like going to look at cars. I like going to, if I'm going to buy something. Sella says, hoarder property so hard, been going through my parents' properties many years. Recently 3 buildings caught fire, still going through everything in their last home, finding treasures, what's left will demo. Yeah, it's a big job. And to answer, I know Anne came on a little bit later and was asking about the TV show thing. That's all on pause, on hold for the moment. And I'm not currently pursuing anything like that at the time. Just sticking with YouTube for the time being. Melissa's getting all geared up here.
I didn't think it was working still, but I heard the reassuring starting of a computer noise.
I have to say, Melissa has been learning every bird in our whole neighborhood, and probably has named, did you name them all?
No. Yeah, some.
She's friends with them. It's like, I have a full-on Snow White situation happening here with this one.
So we have a chickadee in the back that has, I think I mentioned this to you guys before. It has a black feather here, so I call it Blackbeard. But when I put my hand on it, he'll just fly. I'm assuming it's a boy. I have actually no clue. He flies and just lands straight in my hand. And he'll like sing to you while in your hand. So I know he's just there for the food. He doesn't really, he's not there for my company.
Oh no, they actually, birds are pretty smart. They know when you're friendly. And
well, he like closes his eyes a little bit and sings. I love that.
Yeah, they call for her to come out and
yeah, see if I have anything in my pockets.
Yeah, but that's like her whole family. Like your grandma has, if she doesn't put the solution in the hummingbird feeders, the hummingbirds like knock on the glass.
They actually tap on the glass. They'll sit there and look at you while you're doing the dishes. Like, guess what you forgot?
Yeah. So her whole family is for the birds.
Grandma has a lot of birds. Like, she's the Snow White of Snow Whites.
Yeah, but no, between the squirrels and the bird feedings, and she wanted to go for a walk with it a couple nights ago. I was outside and I heard the coyotes were awfully close, and then Melissa comes out. She's like, we should go for a walk. I'm like, what?
We chased that one for like 45 minutes in our yard. There's no way I'm worried about running into a coyote.
Unless it remembers and it's out for blood.
They're like, you chased me with a shovel.
I took the kids to go see the new Fantastic Four movie. Did anybody here go see that yet? I won't give you any spoilers, but that franchise has been plagued over the last, I don't know, however many years they've tried to make Fantastic Four movies with having the worst box office. But this one actually was pretty good. And it was interesting because they kind of jumped in. It's not like they did the whole, I think every other movie did the, the backstory of what happened. And they kind of skimmed past that in this one and just took you right into their world. But it was quite good. Melissa's not a theater gal.
I don't like being trapped somewhere for that long with like nothing to do other than sit there and watch a show.
That's describing our marriage.
Wow.
I don't like being trapped. Just nothing.
No, it's cramped little chairs. I have long legs and my knees hurt.
No. They have those VIP seats now. You can go in and people like a butler will come out. Good evening.
I'm like one of the few people that does not like movie popcorn. I think it is disgusting.
It's funny because the theater we went to, they give you a cup and you can just go fill up your own drink now at the fountain station. But they also have like the simulated butter oil. I said to my kids, I'm gonna bypass this. I'm just gonna go get a cup of butter.
It's not even butter. It's so gross.
It's some kind of like probably salted canola oil or something. No?
I'm good. I don't want it.
Wouldn't it be like a margarine kind of thing?
Maybe if it was a movie I really wanted to see, but...
Yeah, and when I was a kid, my dad used to watch Police Squad and the Naked Gun movies with Leslie Nielsen, and now they've come out with the new Naked Gun movie with Liam Neeson. And it looks absolutely stupid, but I think that's the whole point. And I'm probably going to take the kids to that and see if I can finagle Melissa. Melissa said she might watch it.
My dad, so Laura said, fake butter.
Fake butter, yeah.
When I moved out, I can't remember if it was my mom or dad. Mom, if you're watching, but one of you would buy those tubs of margarine, and that was the point that I swore I would never buy margarine ever again. So as soon as I got out, no.
Could you use it to like grease up the slip and slide?
Oh.
Get going really good on a hot summer's day.
Nope, it's not my cup of tea.
Forget water, just put a big block of margarine down and just run at it. Linda says that she feeds the crows.
Yeah, you can make.
And name some of them. They sit in the tree. Tracy says the movie Airplane is my favorite. Yeah, that was another one of those. One of those movies.
I'm in a swirly chair and I don't even notice that I'm doing it till I can see myself in the camera. Well, that's happening.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but I think so. Pamela Anderson is in that movie with Leslie Nielsen.
Are you
Liam
gonna
Neeson.
share?
No, it's not a spoiler.
It's not a guy, but it's gossip.
No, I think they're dating now.
Oh my gosh, no, it's not gossip. It's just gossip.
But I would never.
Oh my gosh, as long as they're happy, I hope that it's true.
I think it might be. I mean, the nice thing is for both of them, well, he was married for a long time, and I think his wife died like 15, 16 years ago, so he hasn't really done much of public dating since then. And I think she's really settled her life down and has become more... She actually lives in Canada. She lives on Vancouver Island. I could have driven past her when we were out there. That last video we put out, she lives in the area right by where we were.
Oh, yeah.
So who knows? Maybe Liam Neeson will be hanging around Vancouver Island. There are all sorts of interesting people there. My aunt's ex-husband used to work for one of the Bengals who lived out on the island. And I was like, that's kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, there's all sorts. It's just a really nice spot of the world right now. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do a whole lot of trip. We might do a mountain trip before summer's over. We got to figure that out. It's hard.
Have to be soon.
It's hard now though. All of our kids have jobs. All of them. Even Abigail has a job now.
Yeah.
So they're all out there pulling their weight. Abigail had her very first shift. Was it a few days ago?
A few days. Today's shift 2.
And she went, "Oh, Dad, it was so boring." It's like a retail type setting.
But it's not busy there yet.
It's not really busy this time of year, and she said...
but it's gonna get crazy.
"Oh, Dad, it was so boring. Hardly anybody came in." I said, "Well, was it boring to earn like $120? Well, no. Like, just wait when she gets her first paycheck. But
it's good though, because especially in the beginning, you need to have something on your resume that isn't mom and dad. So it's good that she's building her resume up regardless. So
yes, they'll have something on their resume. That is very important.
And she'll do good.
Yeah, she will do good. I saw her getting ready for work today, and she looked like she was super excited. It's like that's part of becoming an adult. But you know, I asked her. I said, Abigail, so what are you going to save up for? What do you want to buy with your money at the end of summer once you have some money saved up? And she said, I don't really want to spend much of it because I'm saving up for a down payment on a house. I went, that's a gal. Good job.
She'll come home with like all these chocolate bars and be like, maybe next check.
Yeah.
I guess she eats pretty. You know what happened to me right before this? I was grabbing water and some juice and stuff to bring home with me. And all of the cases of water, like the bubbly and ahas, they shook off of the bottom of the cart, all 3 boxes of them. And then I ran it over with the cart yet, and there's traffic waiting. Of course there is, as I'm trying to cross the street. And this guy, he runs over so fast to help me, but I've already got my hands in there so quick trying to get out of the way. And the guy said, professional juggler. And I'm like, no, preschool teacher. He goes, so I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like, you know what, I'm glad it was the water I ran over and not like the package of chicken. That could have been so much worse.
Oh, yeah, especially if it was like a whole chicken, then it looks like you're dragging a carcass along with the wheel, like grinding it into concrete as you go.
Oh, it looked rough. It was, it's always an adventure to go anywhere with me.
This is true.
But that person was jumped up to help so fast, the most pleasant human.
There's good people out there.
Yeah, of course. Most people are good.
Melissa is certainly one of the most optimistic people, and just loves people and feels that at the core people are good. And she keeps me very grounded in that sense.
I think that we all have things that we go through, and our own perceptions of things change how people may act towards us, which may not be the nicest. But I think at the core, nobody goes out to be, I'm sure there might be the few, but I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and they're like, I'm going to be a jerk today.
Some people might.
It's true. As I was saying it, I can imagine like
a
few that are kind of curmudgeon-y.
They just weren't raised right.
Who knows what they went through, and yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, both of us have traveled all around the world, and we've met lovely people everywhere we went.
Yep.
And I mean, I went all around Italy during winter, or early part of this year, and everybody was fantastic. They were super nice. They especially loved it if you spoke a little bit of their language, even if you tried, you know.
David said they killed 9 of 18 eggs in the parking lot last week. Oh yeah, eggs wouldn't be ideal. That's just messy. And then you're out 9 eggs.
Oh, like they fell off the cart?
Yeah.
Okay, not that he threw them at somebody in a parking lot.
Yeah, true.
Oh, poor fella.
I just assume.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't know. So far, it's been a really nice summer. It's like
it's hot out today for us.
It's like that out there right now,
Looks
and it is incredibly warm.
Mm-hmm. It's hot.
We've had heat warnings here the last couple days, but I've been obsessively working on growing my grass out there. It's been like,
well, you've done a good job. Like the grass is looking.
It is coming in.
Like year 1 to year 3.
It was mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 3 years we have a yard now, which is nice. Original Nethead says, drove a motorized cart in the grocery today. Knees went crazy. No eggs. No eggs died, but the thing needed a lube and oil. What, the motorized cart or you?
I dropped a gallon of milk. Oh man, I'm always worried about that happening.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, but I don't want it to slam. I always assume, so most of the cupboards, and I guess not our doors, but our cupboards, have like a slow close, but you forget that you give everything like a little extra flick. So,
yeah, you go to somebody else's house and they don't have slow closed doors on things, and you
just
slam
looks like
everything.
you are an angry human.
I find it's bad with like toilet seat lids.
Yeah. Why a slow closed toilet seat lid? Like,
Well,
I think those are ridiculous. We have that. I did not choose that. I would not choose that for any of you. It's so, you have to have that toilet seat closed before you flush, or you get sharticles everywhere.
Oh, that's lovely. Speaking of toilets, I was trying to convince Melissa into getting a Japanese toilet. Apparently she doesn't want like a gentle voice talking you through the process. Just a little push. Keep going, you can do it.
Oh my gosh.
With like music playing.
Everyone would know what I was doing in the washroom.
Think of warm waters. Sharticles, oh my gosh. The thing, and you think I'm the one that says crazy stuff online.
Sorry.
It is an adventure with Melissa.
Oh, I was looking at, they were doing some kind of study about, like, you don't want to put your toothbrush on the counter or anything because of the amount of stuff that is in the air from flushing the toilet. So imagine if you have a slow close, like, yes, you're not slamming it, but you are allowing all that to escape as it's closing. I still slam it shut, like the if it breaks, it's on me.
Oh, somebody says it's 94 degrees where they are. I don't think it's that hot here. It's like 30 degrees Celsius,
31.
whatever that, 31 degrees Celsius here.
Let's see what
Melissa's going to
97
figure
is.
out what that is. But
97.
yeah, it's hot. We were watching this video last night. It was like one of those TikTok-y type things, and these people were showing how hot it was where they were, and this guy was like frying an egg, or another person threw water on the asphalt, and
The
it bubbled and
tires,
burnt.
though.
Oh yeah, somebody was
That was
driving a
the worst.
moped, and the tires had completely melted off.
But it was sticking to the pavement and coming off. 36 degrees is 97.
Oh,
So they're 5 degrees
You're
warmer
fine, yeah.
than us.
You're a little bit warmer than us, but that's
Yeah.
still, it's a little
It's
too
hot.
warm. Yeah.
It's a hat. It's nice. We have a breeze though right now. So the nice thing about Alberta is that it cools off at night. So we don't have constant hot. You're going to get relief at night. So you can open up all your windows, re-cool your house off, and then quick close your curtains for the next day.
Yeah. We got spoiled with this place. We put an air conditioner in, but oh, Phoenix, Arizona is notoriously bad for their weather. It's 104 degrees there right now. Do you guys even go outside? Lisa, when it's that hot out, what do you guys do? Or do you just get used to it? Like for me, that seems too hot.
Is it 104 degrees Fahrenheit too?
Yeah, if it was 104 degrees
Oh, yeah,
Celsius,
right.
they'd be
Right,
dead.
right.
That'd be like a cooked turkey in the oven.
Oh my gosh.
90 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's cooling off. 100 degrees. Yeah. I don't know. Our winters have actually not been that bad here lately. I'm starting to think that our ancestors settled in not such a bad place where...
Well, for us, maybe
us,
not
yeah.
so good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Lisa says she's used to it now, but the sun's brutal and avoid it completely when it's this hot. Yeah, you could probably get a really bad burn really quickly.
Or heat exhaustion. I mean, we just stick to the shade, and I have a massive hat.
85 degrees Fahrenheit in Hollywood, California today. Central Texas, 107.
I just
Good
don't see
grief.
what that is. That sounds too hot for me.
That's too hot.
Too hot.
I always found the weather is always pretty nice in California, like all year round.
41.
Nobody here had any. Oh, that's
Almost 42.
that's-
41.6.
that's
for
pretty hot.
107.
Yeah, we've had some days that have got that hot.
Yeah,
not
we
very
get that
often.
hot, but not very. Yeah, that's rare. And we all whine about it.
Mart's Garage says, "Hey Alex, Mart here from England." Hey Mart, does your caddy have any overseas history? The last car I saw with big lamps on the running boards were on a Rolls Royce owned by the Maharaja. Yeah, that particular Maharaja Rolls Royce, he had the big lamps on it, I think for hunting tigers or something like that, was the story I heard. No, I don't. No, my car was actually sold new in the United States. I think it might have come from around Virginia, around that area originally. The nice thing was with Cadillac, you'd be surprised. They actually kept all their records going back to like the first Cadillac. So they still had the build sheet for my car and I was able to order it online and it confirms what all the options were. Oh, and this is, I'll give you a bit of a spoiler for a future episode. So somebody watching at home writes me and they said, I've been following your Cadillac restoration video. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then they said, I have all the missing parts off of your car. And I think, oh, okay, they have like, you know, the parts that I'm looking for, like the mirrors for the wheels and, you know, hubcaps that I'm missing and stuff like that. No, what they meant is they have the actual missing parts from my actual car. They had bought a bunch of things out of the estate for the person that passed on that car belonged to years ago and ended up with a bunch of 1929 Cadillac parts. Oh, thank you, Laura, very much for the super chat. So because I put the video out there, I had a guy write me and I'm missing like the hubcaps for the side mount tires, which are like impossible to find, the mirrors, a bunch of extra parts. So he has all of my actual parts that came off of my car. And we're just trying to find a way for him to get the stuff brought up. He's in British Columbia, which is where the car came from. And with any luck, I'll get all that stuff back. It shouldn't prevent Matt from doing any mechanical work. It's just basically a lot of trim pieces.
Oh, they already saw that part. That video, I'm guessing.
Well, they haven't seen Matt working. Well, they saw him doing
Picking it
tire.
up.
No, they haven't seen that yet. It's okay. I told them that the car was at Matt's. So
Oh, they know. So how would he have gotten it? It didn't fly there.
maybe it did.
It didn't. Spoiler.
Maybe it's a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car.
What part are you on in the series right now?
I think we just put the tire on last, and I got the interior together. But yeah, Matt and Jim, Mart's Garage says Matt and Jim are great guys. Yeah, I always tell people, if you want to know what it looked like to go in a shop circa 1930, just go to their shop, because everything is as it was, right down to the lifts, to the posters on the walls, to the stock on the shelves. They are a time machine for sure. Mart says, we know Matt and Jim from Cold War Motors. Yes, we all kind of know each other. I'm not as close with Scott at Cold War Motors as Matt and Jim are, but we definitely intersect. You know those where they draw the 3 circles and they kind of interconnect? We do kind of interconnect, and I have known them for a while. So, and Michael, is that Michael Madsen from the actor Michael Madsen? No, can't be. Hello from Denmark. Nice to see you restoring your cars. Thanks. Yeah, we are. I really hope that is probably one of the more interesting cars that I think we have. Alex, give us the video when you feel better. Well, there will be. It's not necessarily a feeling better thing. I'll be able to drive again tomorrow after my back settles down.
Mm-hmm. I think they said it's. Did you tell them what you did to your back? I mean, what you got done today?
Oh yeah, cortisone shots.
So apparently when that happens, sometimes you'll think you're completely fine and you go to push the pedal in and you just won't be able to. So I mean, you don't feel like that, but you don't know when it's going to come on. So it's just out of an abundance of caution to make sure that
this
you're
is true.
safe.
And even sitting here right now, I can feel like electricity like shooting up and down my spine and in the back of my ears and back down. So
I'm glad I'm not having that experience.
it just pins and needles. It'll fade by tomorrow. It'll be fine. But I'm a little bummed out because I was bidding on a really interesting storage locker today, and I had to let it go because I can't drive a vehicle, truck, and trailer.
Yeah.
And Melissa doesn't want to drive a truck and trailer.
Please lower your bid. That's not a good choice for today.
It had blankets and stuff in it that looked like they had guitars in them, and I was like, ooh.
Oh my goodness.
But that's okay. I guess in response to the doing house clear out things, we do some house explorations, and there are some of those videos coming up, but I'm kind of offsetting some of that style of content. During summer, I do a lot of car stuff, and then fall and winter will be back to a lot of house clear out kind of storage locker videos that you guys usually like. Yeah, Michael Madsen did pass away, so I knew it wasn't him. And I saw that he was supposed to be the Vincent character in Pulp Fiction, but he was busy doing something else, so he couldn't do it. But yeah, Elizabeth says, I feel your back pain, been there doing that. Yeah, it's really common, unfortunately.
Backs are, I mean, that's a very common injury, and it's hard because it really, it hinders everything you do. Like, it's pretty bad. I'm lucky every time that my back is hurting. I just hope that I get another chance, and today it's good.
Yeah.
But yours, how does it feel now? Like after the procedure, does it feel any better?
Oh, no, it definitely helps for sure. This time helped a lot.
Okay, good. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it's been helping quite a bit.
It's mainly when he tries to get up, I can tell, because he's like completely stiff, and then as he starts walking, he gets more mobile. But
well, I think what spurred me to get these treatments is that my back went out so bad that I really couldn't walk at all.
That was really bad.
And I was like pretty well hobbled, so I had to do something about it. Hello from Manchester, UK. Feel your pain. Retired plumber, 50 years, back and knees worn out. Yeah, the things we do to ourselves. You know, I think about how invincible I thought I was when I was in my 20s and early 30s, and maybe I still feel invincible now.
Yeah, I was
just
gonna
I
say,
still do stupid stuff.
Now that your back feels better.
Yeah, 101 degrees in Tucson. Gosh. Yeah, no, I guess I'm fine with the weather being the way it is. Like, this is a little uncomfortably warm even for us, and I think if you add in like humidity, it probably feels way worse. Maybe it's like a sauna. Maybe it clears all your...
Well, we don't really have a lot of humidity. It's slightly humid. When you go to places that are humid, that is a shock to the system. It's just like you can't breathe the air magically.
Oh, so I just saw somebody saying, this is unrelated, but somebody said, Cindy says, come to Saskatoon, big car show coming up. I won't be in Saskatoon, but next Saturday I'll be at Rock in August. So if you want to come by and say hi to me, I'll be there in one of my old cars in St. Albert, Alberta. So anybody who's watching locally, that's Saturday the 9th. I'll be sitting there wandering around and looking at the cars at the show. So come by and say hi if you have a chance. We are probably, I guess I'm going to go out and maybe mow the lawn, do some yard work. I've got some patches of grass that I might have accidentally wrecked with the shovel last year.
Are you looking at the end of the
Yeah,
driveway?
so I might get some, maybe I'll get Melissa to drive me so we can go get some grass seed and I can fix some patches in the grass right now.
Yeah.
But guys, thank you very much for tuning into today's live stream. Really nice to connect with you all and to check in. Lots of videos coming soon. We're back to our 2 videos a week schedule coming up for August, and then we really are going to tear into it for November, December. Like I said, I'm aiming to have a video out every 2 days for the months of November, December. So I got to start filming and start getting busy. But guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you're all doing very well, and all of our best from here in Canada to all of you at your homes. And yeah, be well, spend time with your family, have fun, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.